Okay, for this craft, we are making an African drum, and we're using this takeout food container to make our drum. So all we're really gonna do is decorate the top and put it in there, and then if we want to, we can make sides to decorate as well. So there are two sides to this lid. So I'm going to decorate the white part. So after you have done that, and you can choose if you want bright African colors, or I did mine more earthy tones with a lion drawing in the center. You could choose an African animal and do that. So you think about how you want to decorate your top of your drum. This is your top. And once you have decorated that, and you're going to want to do that on a flat surface, it's going to be a lot trickier if it's in here. You could do it. Once you do that, you just set it in here, and then you fold over the foil to hold it in. So you're going to fold that all the way around, and that's going to be the top of your drum. I'm going to do a quick job right now, but you'll want to get the whole thing. Okay, so then you've got a drum, and if you wanted to stop there, that's fine. If you would like, so when I purchased these to make drums, it was meant for the country Ireland, because they have drums called bodhráns, which are more this shape. African drums there are many shapes and sizes, but not typically this shape. There are cool ones that are made out of gourds, dried like squash, and long skinny ones. They usually have a base. So if you want to put a base on yours, I put a small one on mine. We're just going to take a piece of paper. We'll need a piece of paper, scissors, and tape. And I just use Scotch tape, and with a few pieces of that, it seems to be holding just fine. Okay, so for the base, you're going to want to figure out how tall you want it. Mine's pretty short. It doesn't go very far past the bottom here, but you could do yours much taller if you want. So we're going to take our piece of paper. You're going to want to decide how tall you want it, and you're going to want to use the long side. If you try to use the short side to wrap around, you're going to need, I suppose you could do that, you're going to need 3 cuts instead of 2. So I'm going to use the long side. I'm going to decide how tall I want it. So you could even cut it in half, the long skinny way, and make it that tall. So I'm going to try that on this one. So I am going to have 2 long skinny pieces. That's just cut in half. If you're going to do shorter pieces, you're going to want to cut your first one, and you're going to want to use that one as a guide to make sure that you have 2 pieces that are the same height. Otherwise your drum will, like if this one side is a lot shorter, it's going to sit all wonky. So try to measure those about the same size. About, not perfect. So here are my 2 sides. They're not quite, but close enough to the same. You're going to take this, part of this is going to overlap. So you may want to mark how much. You might want to like do a quick tape on and put both sides to see which part's going to show, because some of this is going to overlap. If you put a lot of work into coloring it, you may end up hiding some of your work. But if you don't care about that, you can just color it and then tape it on. So decorate your sides before you put them on, because again, it's going to be pretty tricky to work with that. It's so flimsy. After you've decorated your sides, you're just going to tape them on. Now I will show you how I did it. I took one side and taped mine on the side here. And then wrapped it around to where it's going to be. And I taped the other side and then went back and taped the middle. You can just start taping around if you want. But the middle is going to need to be taped also. So here I'm going to tape my other side. So now I have this side taped and this side taped, and you can see my middle just hangs down there. So I'm going to want to tape that. And I'm going to tape it a couple times to make sure that it's really going to stay. Okay, so now I've got my one side, and I'm going to tape my other side. I'm going to do the same thing, although this will tape to paper and paper, and then I'll tape the middle. So after I've got that, I've got a drum that stands up and is quite a bit taller and might look a little bit more like an African drum. And remember, I said part of this is going to overlap, so if you're coloring the whole thing, you won't see all of that. It's not too much though, actually, now that I'm looking at it. So I'm going to tape this other side. Nope. Tape stuck to my finger. So you don't need to sit here and watch me tape this. So that is our African drum. And makes a pretty good noise. All right, let me know what you come up with.